Hi everybody. Everybody, I'm back. And today Gina Young is going to make mouth-watering smothered pork chops. When is the last time you all had smothered pork chops with the gravy over white rice? That's what we're having today at the Young's house. My mouth is watering already and I haven't even got started. This is one of my favorite recipes and I'm so excited to be able to show you all how easy it is to make this dish. Here's what you're going to need to make Gina Young style smothered pork chops. Of course, you are going to need pork chops. And you can see that I have assorted pork chops. And when you buy the assorted pork chops, you're going to get the pork steaks. Here's what the pork steaks look like. And then you will get the center cut. Okay? Or you can just purchase all center cut or all pork steaks, whichever floats your boat. I like to have the two. Okay, now some people say, do you have to flour it? No, you don't have to flour it. But when I make smothered pork chops, listen here, I need me some flour. So I have some flour here, that we're going to dredge our pork chops in once we get them nice and seasoned. And those of you that are familiar with me and my channel, you know that I love to use boil in a bag rice. Boil in a bag rice works out perfect for me. All you need to do is boil your water, salt your water. Once your water comes up to a boil, boil your bag of rice. Here's what it looks like. Take a bag of rice and throw it in the boiling water for 11 minutes. 11 minutes is going to give you that perfect rice. And I'm going to use 2 bags. And I'm also going to use this chicken bouillon cube that's going to give my rice some flavor. Okay? I'm going to use a half of one of these, and these are the soft ones. Okay? So then, the tomato is optional. But when I make this gravy, I love to put the tomato in there. The tomato is definitely optional. This here, I have a red tomato. You can use a white onion if you choose. I just happened to do the video for the pasta salad today, and I had this onion left over, so we're going to use a red onion today. I have some cumin, and we're going to use garlic powder, cracked black pepper, sea salt, parsley flakes, as well as sazon. Okay? And this spice here, this is my trick to the most flavorful gravy that you ever want to taste. Listen here, guys. When I make gravy, people say, oh my God, like this gravy is so good. What did you put in it? I'm going to tell you what I put in it. And I always do this when I make a gravy. Now, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. It's up to your discretion. This here is my secret. This is the Oriental seasoning pack that belongs in the ramen noodles, okay? You can use 2 or 3 of these or use as many as you would like to use, okay? So that's what that seasoning is, and I like to use that seasoning to make for a beautiful, flavorful gravy. I'm telling you one thing, if you try it once, you will never make gravy without it ever again. Now, if you're the person that says, no, I'm not going to use that. Well, it's okay, because here's what you can do. You can use soy sauce. The soy sauce will give you a great flavor, as well as it will help to darken your gravy as well. Now, when you're making your gravy, you can also use Kitchen Bouquet. And what Kitchen Bouquet will do, it doesn't have a flavor, but it will help to darken your gravy, those of you that like a really dark gravy. All right, so now the first thing that we're going to do, I've washed my meats off. I've washed my pork off, and I used lime. I cut a lime in half, and I just rubbed the lime all over the meat. And then I rubbed sea salt all over my meat, and I rinsed it well with cold water. If you don't have lime, you can use lemon. If you don't have lime or lemon, you can use vinegar, okay, in replace of the lime or lemon. Now, let's go ahead, and I've pat them dry with a paper towel. Look how beautiful these bad boys are. Nice and beautiful. Okay, let's get down to business. Now, here's what we're going to do. Let's start to season our meat up. We're going to use some sea salt. Don't get carried away with the sea salt, okay? You don't need too much salt. This is pork, and pork is already salty, okay? Just a little will go a long way. And with this salt, I'm only gonna salt one side of the pork, okay? You don't need to salt two sides, all right? Just like so. We're gonna use some cumin. We are gonna use some cumin, and I'm only gonna use cumin on one side of the pork because I just want just a taste of cumin. Okay, not too much. Don't get carried away with the cumin, but you still want that flavor to shine through. Okay, just like so in this manner. Beautiful. Boy, that smells amazing. Okay, so we're gonna go in with garlic powder. Oh, absolutely. Whoo, them bad boys smell good already. Just like so. We're gonna put some cracked black pepper on. Don't be afraid to season your meats. That's the last thing that I want you to do, is be afraid to season your meats. Because if you can't taste the seasoning, that's the worst thing in the world. You wanna be able to taste the flavors. Cracked black pepper, and then we're gonna go in with Sazon. I absolutely adore Sazon. Sazon is going to give you a beautiful flavor as well as a beautiful color. All right? Just like so, we're going to put some on this side as well as the other side. And we're going to let these meats sit out on the counter for 12 minutes. I like for my meat to come to kind of a room temperature, or for some of the chill to come off of the meat. And the reason why I like to do that is because you never ever want to fry your meat or bake your meat or cook your meat in any way if it's straight out of the refrigerator. Because what will happen is your meat will kind of seize up and go into shock, and it'll be tough. And we're not making any tough meats in this kitchen, okay? So let it sit out for a while. Give it some time to sit out and get some of that chill off. And you'll have a nice, juicy, tender meat. Trust me when I tell you this. I hope that you all are having a great day today. Absolutely, I do. I hope you all are having a beautiful work week as well. We're going to go ahead and season. Now remember, I'm not going to salt this other side, and I'm not going to use cumin on this other side. I feel like what we put on the first side was good enough, okay? So then we're gonna put Sazon, garlic powder, and black pepper on, and then we're gonna dredge these bad boys, okay? Just like so. You're gonna wanna put just enough oil, about this much oil in your pan. Just enough oil to fry your pork chops up, okay? We're gonna fry these, and what I don't want you to worry about, I don't want you to worry about when you fry your pork chops, you don't have to cook them all the way, okay? All we're trying to do is to get a beautiful golden brown crust onto the pork chops, okay? And once you start to see that beautiful golden brown crust, we can take them out of the oil, and then, because these are gonna smother. These are gonna smother down in that beautiful, flavorful gravy that you make today. And they'll continue to cook in the gravy, because we're gonna smother these in that gravy for just about maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And these bad boys are gonna fall off that bone, and they're gonna be so tender your grandma with no teeth can enjoy these as well. Absolutely, that's how tender they get. Yes. Okay, get you some cracked black pepper on there. Just like so. Now, these meats are gonna sit, like I said, for 12 minutes. Let some of the chill come off. All right. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go over to my stove. I'm gonna start some water for my rice. I'm gonna put the oil in my pan for frying, and I'll be right back. Okay, so let me show you just how much oil I have in the pan. Just enough oil to get them fried up, okay? Not too much. Don't get crazy with the oil. All right, here's our pan of water. I'm gonna turn that water on, okay? so that we can start to boil our rice. All right, and anytime you make rice, you want to go ahead and season the water. Okay, and I'm going to put the half of the bouillon cube right down in to my water so that it can flavor my rice. When I make rice, I like for my rice to have some flavor. Okay, and this pan here will be used for our gravy. Okay, so let's go ahead and we want to chop up our tomato. What I like to do with my tomato is just quarter it. Okay, now this tomato, like I said, it's definitely optional, okay? This is just something I like to throw in, and it matches up beautifully with the gravy that I make for this dish, okay? So I just like to quarter it, and I throw it in once everything is cooked. Once everything is done and cooked, I throw it in there for it to just barely cook, and it gives an amazing flavor to the tomatoes. All right, so we'll just set those aside, okay? Now, we're gonna take this onion and we're going to just slice it. We're not gonna use the whole onion, okay? Because we don't need the whole onion. You want a little bit of onion because when you smother pork chops, you do want that flavor. But if you're that person, I'm trying to get that seed. If you are the person that doesn't like onions, then by all means, you don't have to use it, okay? And really, it's that simple, all right? Just gonna use a little bit. And this right here, that's enough. Yeah, that's all you're gonna need. It's okay to leave it out if you don't want to use it. Okay, everyone, so we have our pork chops, and you can see that they've kind of changed a little bit in color. What's starting to happen is those seasonings have had enough time to soak down into that beautiful meat, and the chill has come off of the meat. They're not, they're not so freezing cold, if that makes any sense. Now we're going to fry 3 at a time. My oil is nice and hot. Let me check it. Let me check my oil. Yes, my oil is nice and hot and it's ready for us to fry. Now let me show you what I did to check the oil, just in case you don't know. So I took a little bit of flour between my fingertips and I put it in the oil. If it sizzles right away, just like that did, then your oil is nice and hot. But if you take that flour and you put it in there in that manner and it falls straight to the bottom, your oil's not hot enough. Don't put anything in there, okay? So this is on a medium-high heat, and that's the temperature that we're going to use to fry our pork chops. So then let's take our pork chops just like so. Really easy. We're not going to use an egg wash. We're not using panko crumbs or anything like that. This is just plain all-purpose flour. If you wanted to use self-rising flour, that'll work too, okay? Absolutely it will. And a lot of people have that question. What kind of flour is it? It's just all-purpose. But like I said, hey, if you have self-rising flour, that's fine too. It really won't make a difference, okay? A lot of people like to put a little bit of cornstarch in. You can do that as well, okay? So then we're just gonna take our pork chop, set it there. Let's do 3. We're not gonna bread them all up right now, okay? We'll do one of the pork steaks. Oh yeah, this right here is right up my alley, and my stomach is calling for this fried pork chop. My goodness. Woo, we're gonna smother these bad boys. This recipe right here is gonna make you want to smack somebody. Woo! So tasty, so delicious every time. And it's mistake-free. Like, you can't mess this recipe up. It's so easy and it's a lot of fun to make. You can see that I have 3 more pork chops that need to be floured. I'm not going to dredge them just yet until I'm ready to fry them. Because I feel like when you flour them or you dredge them early, what happens is the flour gets gummy, and I'm not a fan of that. I don't want to have to re-dredge it, so we'll just wait we'll just wait, and these can sit on the counter, okay? They don't have to go in the refrigerator while they wait. Those are nice and dredged. Meet me over this way. I'll bring the camera a little bit closer so you all can see the frying process. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do, I'm going to go ahead and put my 2 bags of rice. I'm going to pour a little bit of this water off. And what you see floating in this pan is the bouillon cube. Okay, we have the rice in the bag. We had a little splattering from the pan. Some of the water from the pan dripped into the oil, and hey, we're okay. All right, so then here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take and gently, you all know how to be gentle. Lay your pork chop into your oil, nice and gentle, be gentle, because you do not want to splatter the oil on yourself or anyone that's in your kitchen or near your kitchen, okay? Just like so. And honestly, I can fit another pork chop in, so I'm gonna go ahead and put another one in. I'm gonna go ahead and dredge it now and just get it right in the oil, and then all I'll have to do is make another batch, and I'll only have to fry up 2 more, okay? So we'll go ahead and put the second one in, or this 4th one in, just like so, okay? Don't overcrowd your pan. If you have enough room, you can put more in. Now, what I don't want you to do is go in and mess with it. Don't bother it. It'll be just fine. And what you'll start to see a nice, beautiful golden brown crust starting to form on the bottom half of your pork chop. And when you see that, that's the indication that it's time to give your pork chop a turn. Like I said, we're not looking to cook these. We're just looking for a beautiful golden brown crust. And once we achieve that on both sides, we're going to take these pork chops out. We're going to set them on a platter or a plate. And then they'll go into the gravy once we make our gravy, and they're going to simmer. And they're going to simmer. And they're going to marry with that gravy and make beautiful love together. Our rice is cooking up beautifully, and the pork chops smell absolutely amazing. You can smell these pork chops at the front door. Okay, everyone, my rice is cooked for 11 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and drain this, and then you just simply cut the bag and pour it into your serving dish. I'm just going to cut the bag, pour the water out, and put it back into my pan. Toss a little bit of butter and parsley. And the rice is done. Our pork chops are, once I'm done with that, then we'll proceed with turning our pork chops. Our pork chops are ready to be turned. Okay? Okay, let me show you our rice, nice and fluffy. Parsley, butter, fluff it, mix it up, just like so. The rice is done and out the way. Look at that. It doesn't get any better than this. Who doesn't love? And here's the thing. We put a little bit of that bouillon cube in there, so it has amazing flavor. Rice is done. Let's go ahead and turn our pork chops. Remember, we're not aiming to cook these. We just want that beautiful crust. Now, these are going to have somewhat of an orange color to them because of the sazon that I used. And the sazon that I used, it has turmeric in it, and it also has saffron, okay? So both of those are going to make for that beautiful color. And here's the thing. Sometimes when I fry pork chops, just regular fry them, I'll use that saffron just for the beautiful color. You know, personally, I like to eat with my eyes, and I love for things to be nice and beautiful. It doesn't get any beautiful than this, right? Now this side, we're only going to cook this side for about 2-3 minutes. Take them out, fry the other 2. I'm going to show you all how quick and simple it is to make homemade gravy. Okay, it's been 2-3 minutes. Let's go ahead and take these ones out, just like so. Okay, and I'm just going to set them onto this plate here, and I want to get my others started. Oh yeah. Look at these right here. Ooh, got some good loving right there. You hear me? You all never had any good loving before. This right here is where you're gonna find it. Woo, them pork chops look good, baby. Okay, everybody, I have our last 2 pork chops cooking. Once these get done, we'll make our gravy, and then right from there, everything happens so fast, then you can sit down and relax, let everything simmer, and you are gonna have the most beautiful smothered pork chops you've ever had in your life. Okay, I flipped the pork steaks. They're just about done on the other side. Okay, everybody, the last pork chops are done. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna use all of this oil, but I am gonna use some of this beautifully flavored oil. This oil right here has so much flavor in it. Here's what I'm gonna do. Check me out, guys. Here's my wok. Those of you that know me, you know that I love to use my famous wok. This oil is going to go into this pan here, and I'm just going to use the desired amount that I need to make my gravy. The rest of the oil, I'm just going to discard of it. Okay? Now, when I'm smothering pork chops, I like to have a big pot of gravy. I like for my pork chops to be really smothered down into gravy. So I'm going to use a nice amount of oil. And what you do, when you're making a gravy, you're going to use equal parts oil, equal parts flour. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So I have this beautifully flavored oil. I have my pan on a medium-high heat. Now what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to eyeball mine. If you're not sure how to eyeball yours, then you'll need to measure your oil and your flour so that you can have equal parts. If you hear a little bit of water in the background, that's just Dakota in the back, and he's washing dishes. Okay, so I have my flour and I have oil, and we're just going to give it a nice stir. Okay, just like so. All right, we're going to make sure that we get all of the little lumps out because we don't want any lumpy gravy. Okay, you're going to see some bits and pieces, and those bits and pieces that you see are just the bits and pieces from the pork chops that have fried. Okay, I feel like I need a little bit more flour, so we're going to do just that. Put you a little bit more flour in, okay? And then when you're making gravy, you want to use hot water. Not cold water, you want to use hot. And your gravy will not be lumpy. Your gravy's going to be nice and smooth, and it's going to be so flavorful and amazing. I have my temperature on a number 5, okay? If you're not sure what a number 5 is, it's just a medium heat, okay? And I'm just going to cook this until the flour flavor cooks away, because you don't want to be able to taste that flour. And the way you can cook that flour taste out is just by cooking your oil and flour for a few minutes together. I'm still stirring around my flour and my oil to cook out that raw flavor taste. And pretty soon we're going to make our way over to our sink so that I can put hot water into this roux. Okay, and you can see that the roux is starting to turn dark in color, which is just fine. Okay, so when you start to put your water in your roux, you want to make sure that you are vigorously stirring, stirring, stirring. Okay, and once you start to see the consistency of gravy, then you pull your pan away from the hot water. Okay, now what we're going to do, let's go make our way over to the kitchen sink so we can start putting water in to form our gravy. Okay, everybody, I've started to pour water in, and you're going to see some steam, okay, because it's hot, okay? Watch this. Check me out, guys. And I'm going to keep on. It's thick. It's still thick. This is nothing but hot water, and you can see how thick this is. I'm not going to turn the water off until I'm happy with the consistency of our gravy. All right, let's turn it off, and we're going to take a peek at it. Okay, so it's thinned out, and I'm interested in looking at if this is exactly what I'm wanting. It looks like I need some more hot water. We're going to put this back on the stove to come up to a boil, and we have gravy. Check it out, why don't you? We have gravy. Now, go on in with your onions. If you wanted to put bell peppers or celery in there, absolutely you can. Okay, that onion right there is gonna give so much flavor. My goodness. Ooh-wee, look at that. Oh yeah, listen here. I'm really cooking in this kitchen. Really cooking in this kitchen. Now we wanna go ahead and season up our beautiful gravy. Let's put some garlic in. Let's put some parsley flakes because the parsley is gonna make everything nice and beautiful. Cracked black pepper. Remember, we have our rice already cooked. Okay, everybody, so our last spice we want to put in our seasoning pack from the noodles, just like so. This right here is that pop of magic that's going to give you an amazing gravy. I hope that each and every one of you runs out to make this recipe and try it with the Oriental seasoning pack. I want to give my gravy a taste to see what it tastes like. Remember, if you're a person that loves onions, be sure to put you some onions in there. It's going to give you a beautiful flavor. And you can put mushrooms in here if you're a mushroom fan. Let me taste this. Oh. My word. There's your gravy. I want this gravy to cook for about 5 minutes. After the gravy comes up to a boil, then we're gonna put our pork chops in, and we're not gonna cover this. If you cover this, you will make your gravy runny. Don't cover this. Let this come up to a boil, and then we're gonna turn it down on low, put the pork chops in, and let it simmer. And then let it simmer and simmer. Look who just woke up, guys. Polo and Prince. Polo and Prince, say hi to YouTube, guys. Everybody's asking about you, honey. This right here is Polo on the left. Hey, Prince, look at mommy. And there's Prince right there. Hey, Polo, look at mommy. Say hi. There's Prince and Polo, guys. Just saying hi. Say bye, guys. Okay, everyone, I have washed my hands. Now what we're gonna do is, it's time to put our pork chops in. Put them right on into this. Our gravy has came to a nice boil. And see how it has the perfect consistency? Nice and beautiful. We're gonna take these pork chops and you wanna lay them into your gravy so they can become smothered. Nice and gentle. Don't splash it. You don't want to splash anyone in this kitchen or yourself. Just put them down in there just like so. Them bad boys can get nice and smothered. Hoo-wee, now we're talking. My mouth is watering and I am so ready for these bad boys. Woo, they're calling my name. Girl, you are something else in that kitchen. Remember, don't you dare cover that unless you want runny gravy. I'm gonna clean my kitchen up and I'll come back in around about an hour and a half and you're gonna be able to taste these. We're gonna taste these. I'm gonna let y'all know what they taste like. Be back. Our pork chops are just smothering down in this gravy. Listen here, if y'all can have patience, you're gonna have some good food. You hear me? Patience is the key to good cooking. If you can have some patience, I promise you, you're gonna have some good cooking. So over here, I have some string beans that I put kielbasa sausage in. I put some butter in, and I put garlic powder and cracked black pepper and some Maggi pollo. Okay, everybody, it's been an hour. I'm gonna let this simmer for another half an hour. We're gonna come back and we're gonna taste these bad boys. Ooh-wee, look at them. I want to give you all a close-up of this gravy, just so you can see it. I wish you all were here so you could taste this. Oh my goodness, look at this gravy. Let's see if I can get a nice picture for you. Look at that gravy. Okay, everybody, we're at the last 5 minutes of our cooking process. I like to just nestle my tomatoes down in there. The tomatoes, and I'll say it again, is optional. It's just something that I love to do because I love a nice cooked tomato. I'm only going to cook these for 5 minutes. Okay, everybody, take a look at this meal. May God bless this meal. Lord, we thank you for this meal today. We thank you for all of your blessings, the roof over our head, and the love that you give us daily. Amen. Let's dig in. Look at this. Look at this. How many of you all love white rice and green beans together? It's the perfect match. And then when you put that fried pork chop, you smother that bad boy in gravy. Woo-wee! Match made in heaven. Let's dig in. Let's give this a try. All right. I'm going in. First thing I want to taste right away. I'm ready. Oh, it cuts like butter. And I'm telling you one thing. Really? Honestly, I did not even need that butter knife. Oh. Whoo-wee, that looks good. You all taste this? Let me know what y'all think. Hopefully I can give you a good picture. I hope y'all can see that. It looks kind of blurry a little bit for some reason. It seems to be focusing on the plate instead of the... There we go. I think that's a little bit better. Give that a taste and let me know what you think. I'm diving in, guys. I can't take it any longer. Oh. Oh, it's so good. It's so flavorful. It's so tender. Ooh-wee, that bad boy is good. If y'all enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to Gina Young's channel. Tell everybody you know about Gina Young's channel and what I'm doing in this kitchen. Make sure you click on the notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload one of these awesome recipes. Absolutely. Taste that. Ooh, that's good. My goodness. Doggone it, it's good. Let me cut that again. And as always, God bless you all. Thank you all for watching. Have a great night. Good night. You all never had this before. You better make you some. Good night.